Today we have a new unboxing video. It's the Fixedstar knife, Starlight. Normally I wait to take it out of the packaging, but I got two pieces of mail and I was like, what's this one? And turns out Andy shipped this out. I want to start off with saying that I asked Andy if I could have a Starlight for review, and he said yes. And then he kind of gave me the runaround for like weeks. And then I was like, "Hey man, just be straight with me. If you are giving me one of these, then like cool, let me know. And if not, just please be straightforward with me. I'll buy my own." Uh, and then finally, after like several of those messages, he finally got back to me and said, "We ran out of review units." I'm like, "Great, thanks. So I'll just buy my own." And I heard that it was great because of blocks. So here it is. He also said like I'll ship it on Monday, and then he didn't give me tracking info, which is why I didn't know it was coming. Also, please look at my beautiful baby boy. His name is Roki. He's also not a baby. He's actually quite old. Anyways, pretty straightforward cardboard box. Nice sort of like uh, shiny fixed star knife. This is good. This is a good logo. It's actually a really good logo. Anyways, enough of that. Nothing on the back. All right, in the box we have hardware, spare hardware. We have a sheath bag that has the logo on it, and looks like it popped out because there's a silicone packet that actually looks kind of cool. Let me just show you the silicone packet. It actually looks pretty cool. Oh shoot, it looks cool. Um, Anyways, you don't care about that. I was like, wow, that's one of the coolest looking silicone packets. And then in the box was the knife. I guess the bag has got rustled. And I got this version here. Um, the Starlight is a G10 Balisong with a titanium blade. And that blade can come in anodization and with lasers. And so I got this like circuit board one, which I think is pretty cool. I think personally I would have preferred like the wave one, but they only had a few that were available. Also, I was like, oh, can I get like this yellow blade with like this yellow fade handles? And they're like, no, we don't have any of the dyed G10 handles. So here is also let me see if I can show you. Like the G10 handles have like this nice sort of texture down here. It's a little hard to show on camera. You can kind of see. There's also two sets of screws down here. One of which is for weight, and the other one of which is maybe also weight. It looks like there might be blade rub. Yeah, you can get a little bit of blade rub. So I might be able to tune that tolerance. Before I flip this, let's just check the weight. The weight is 2.89. Really light. Alright. Flipping this. So, when Blocks was flipping this, they're like, wow, this is super cool. And let me tell you, my first impressions of this are pretty positive. I got a G10 Orca clone because I remember hearing good things about it, and I actually just despised it. For one, the G10 Orca clone's hardware was terrible. This one feels similar to that, but like way better. Wow, this is really easy to ladder. No jimping, but it is also G10. And let's see. Oh. Just like, it feels neutral. I'm trying to figure out this balance. It feels neutral, I think. I think it feels neutral. Chaplains really easily. Look at that. I just went from like a standard chaplain into a vertical chaplain into. I was like, can I do zero G chap? I'm like, not. I'm not good at zero Gs because it's so light. It's really easy to manipulate in twirls. However, I will say it lacks momentum for rollovers. Yeah, rollovers struggle a little bit. Now the Fixedstar knife will cost you about 70, I think. Honestly, I was like, it's inexpensive enough that I feel pretty decent about just, you know, trying it out. Worst case scenario, I might be able to trade it for like an Orion 1.5. The grip is nice. It feels like the G10 is like soft and a little chalky. Oh, it's already gotten smudged. Just be aware that white G10 can and will smudge. I don't know if it's showing up. Yeah, it's like here. There's already a little bit of smudging. Not a huge deal. Not a deal breaker remotely. Just being aware that this ladder's like crazy easy. It's so light, and because it's G10 grip, I'm not that worried about it flying off my fingers. Of course, jimping is always nice, but it is G10, and it's like a little chalky feeling is the best way to describe it. It's not unpleasant, but just feels a little chalky, which does have that like kind of grip feeling. It's certainly more pleasant than actual chalk. Yeah, laser anode. The laser anode job makes it like $10 more. So, actually, how much did I pay for this? Let me just double check. According to my spreadsheet, I paid exactly 78.8. $78.80 for this version with this anodization. And for Balisong, I think it's pretty decent. Actually, also, let me just check the tolerances. There's a little bit of play. Let's see if I can tighten that. This is T10? T8. T8. It's on phosphor bronze washers. I guess just to insert this, because I was doing it off camera, it turns out that the Starlight has a set of phosphor bronze washers, but then there's a second set of phosphor bronze washers. But there's also still bushings underneath two sets of phosphor bronze washers in here, and these washers have like these special grooves for it. I'm just like, what the fuck? This is wild. Thankfully, both the pivots and the screws have screw heads, which is something I talk about from time to time. Let's see. Got a little bit less. Let me see if there's still blade rub. No, not on this side, not on the bite side. If I really try hard, yes on the safe side. I can, if I manually do it, I can make it tap. But honestly, not a huge deal. Let me just try and crank this. Oopsies, I'm already stripping the screws a little bit, trying to get that little bit of cranking. Okay. Yeah. And it's still. Ooh, nice. Alright. Normally I do thick lube, but because this is so light, and I already got this a little time, I'm just going to do some super lube. I don't actually see any hints of lubricant, so this honestly might just be super dry. In which case, not bad. Okay. And with a little bit of lube, it swings fine. Very nice. Yeah, so for a Balisong under 3 ounces, obviously you're going to be able to do a lot of things really easily, aka twirls, ladders. I know that some people, like, I can't wrist bump, but I know that a lighter Balisong is much easier to wrist bump than. Let's see. No, that was not a good setup for a wrist bump. Yeah, let's. Anyways, it's if you are able to wrist bump, it's going to be a lot easier. I do think my biggest criticism for it is that it's just lacks a lot of momentum. But it's still very flippable. Honestly, I think for the price, for the materials, for the quality, no regrets. Honestly. And this is fun enough to flip that I'm like, I'm having a good time. I don't know if I'll pick it up all the time, but it's certainly unique enough in my collection. I got a little bit of tap on the safe side, and that is the side that I'm having a hard time really getting. Nope, I already stripped. Damn. Yeah, I already stripped the pivot on the tightening side. So alas, there is tap. That's unfortunate. Now there is spare hardware. I might be able to make something of it, but typically I try not to go through it. However, let's see. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 washers. 1, 2, 3, 4 pivots, 4 screws, and then also like 4. Oh, I think actually these down here are the same hardware as these up here. So that's pretty cool. So like worst case scenario, if you were to somehow go through all 4 of these pivots, you can still actually use these down here. And then there's also these. Oh, actually, this is really interesting. So these up here, they look like Zen pins, like the same hardware that you would use for Zen pins. This is actually a pinsless design. This is a pinsless design. It's G10 against titanium. You can already see that the G10 here is starting to stain against the titanium in collision. I don't know why it's. Yeah, there we go. Likewise on the interior, you can see that it's already starting to stain. Not a deal breaker again, just an observation. Yeah, I don't know why. There's like a bit more wiggle on the safe side. So I could replace the washers. Yeah, maybe I'll do that another time. I just really hate tap. It just is one of those things. Maybe it's like an autism thing. All in all, though, my first impressions of the Starlight are pretty positive. We'll see how it stands up over time, and if I do really like it, I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. But I might be able to do something cool with like these indentations. Like I have an ink pen, but ink pens are. I'm a little worried that I'm gonna make it really ugly because they're thicker and G10 will not be cleanable compared to steel. So when you ink steel, it's not terribly difficult to clean. It can be annoying, but like, yeah. Let's see. Let me just check. All right. So with that, I guess this is my closing thoughts on the Starlight by Fixedstar knife. All in all, a good product. I really like the titanium laser engraved blade. It's very lightweight. It's under 3 ounces, so akin to like us. I would say that the ultralight, at least my ultralight with the inserts, has better momentum control than this. The G10 is grippy, and some people might not like the texture. but I don't have a problem with it. And yeah, a lot of spare hardware. Pretty nice box, as well as a sheath that it does not come in. Um, so I don't really know what the sheath is for. And yeah, honestly, like nice, just nice, decent pattern. Well, it's simple, but that a little bit of texture, not really even for grip. I would say it actually affects grip very negligibly. It just looks a little nice and it's very subtle. Tolerances have a little bit of tap. Unfortunately, I will probably try and fix that off camera. My biggest gripe actually is the customer service was less than stellar. Just the communication was kind of a fight. It was really, really difficult to get a hold of, and just not necessarily the most straightforward person to talk to. And there are other makers that are not necessarily great to talk to in the sense that they're just not super responsive. Haystack, um, nice person as far as I can tell. Just was just abysmal at using Instagram, and uh, some other makers I know they're like, hey, I'm like super sorry, like I'm not getting notifications, and they're really cordial and they're friendly. Um, Not to say that Andy was not friendly. I think the communication was just frustrating because I was waiting for weeks, multiple weeks, like several weeks. So, anyways, the product itself is good. Is it worth like $70? Yeah, I would say so actually. Um, More expensive than a plastic knife, an all plastic knife. You get a titanium blade, and if you get like pay extra $10-ish, you can get some really cool patterns. And I do like this circuit pattern. They on their website had like 20 different designs. Some of them are just completely plain. Like Blocks got one for free that was plain looking, and then I think they anodized the blade and dyed the G10, and it looks really nice. But yeah, that's gonna be it for now. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. How do you think this compares to the G10 Orca? The real one, the real G10 Orca is like $400 retail, which is insane. And on the secondhand market, it's still 200, which compared to the actual MSRP is a good deal. But in terms of the material, which is similar to this, oh my god, like that's more than twice. That's actually more than 3 times this. Um, so yeah, and then the clone is like 40-ish bucks, but I infinitely like this way more than the clone. Let me know your thoughts though if you disagree, if you have anything else to say. And yeah, check out the coffee in my description. A couple bucks goes a long way. Helps me keep the channel alive for my daily uploads. And at some point, I'm going to do a Balisong breakdown and have more thoughts beyond my first impressions. So, thanks for tuning in. Happy flipping and have a good one.